COVID. And years from now, epidemiologists, sociologists.
Good thing we haven't talked about COVID at all.
No, we haven't at all. Only 3 years, constantly for 3 years. They're going to deconstruct the COVID pandemic, not just because of the number of deaths that were caused by it and the number of illnesses and the long-term impact, but the societal impact that this has had on our society at large. Now, there's a new variant of the ever elusive disease known as, I'm not even going to try to say it. It's been reported in 5 different states. We know First Lady Jill Biden came down with it. But what we know so far is this, and it's according to CNN, U.S. labs suggest that the new COVID rules may be less contagious and less immune evasive than feared. And in other words, our own immune systems can recognize and fight off this variant as well, and perhaps better than the other variants. So here in Montgomery County, we've had reports that a new case of COVID-19 has caused swift reaction from one MCPS school, Rosemary Hills Elementary School in Silver Spring, where students are being required to wear KN95 masks for at least 10 days. Mike, there's a lot of evidence that especially from the Cochrane Library, a world-renowned medical database, that found that through 78 randomized control tests, that wearing masks makes little or no difference to the general public what kind of mask is used. Are we overreacting here?
Well, I don't know there's a we. I think there was an elementary school in Montgomery County, and we have over 200 schools in the county. And so I think that probably, and I don't know this for a fact, but the reality is that I think schools can understand and appreciate what's happening in their community. And interestingly, I think Montgomery County was more okay with more okay with wearing masks than many other jurisdictions in the country. And I think there are communities that feel that that's okay and probably weren't opposed to that. I think there are a lot of places that came out the other side. So I think it's reflective of that individual elementary school, that community reacting as they did. And I take that as, part of what we've seen a lot across the country.
Well, just as we have talked about this issue for 3 years, I mean, there's a lot of evidence. And Laurie, National Public Radio reported that numerous scientific papers have established that it can be harder to hear and understand speech and identify facial expressions and emotions when people are wearing masks, which are critical in development at tasks, particularly for children. And even Randy Weingartner, the president of the American Federation of Teachers, said classroom teachers are reporting that the constant use of masks impedes the learning process, and parents have expressed dismay about their children's overall health and well-being after wearing masks. So why are we going down a path if the masks have been proven to be ineffective and they're being detrimental to our children? Why are we continuing reinstituting mask mandates?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Rosemary Hills is not acting alone, because I think they hired a health person for MCPS who's supposed to be helping schools make decisions on these issues. So I'm sure they got advice from headquarters on this. And I think they're doing this because MCPS has become accustomed to controlling families. It's been happening for several years now during COVID, and families have been conditioned to in Montgomery County to follow what they're told, like lab rats. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know. I don't know why Montgomery County is so different than anywhere else, because I still go to the grocery store and see a lot more people wearing masks than anywhere else in the United States. Like this summer, I've been to, Ocean City and all these other places and around the country, and I don't see people wearing masks like they do in Montgomery County. It is a virtue signaling thing in the county.
I think the issue is we're so risk adverse that we do anything, that we overreact. I mean, if this was called the common cold, would we all be wearing masks?
Well, I think
we're learning more. I think, to your point, as you pointed at the intro to this, and quite honestly, scientifically, they indicated this would be the case over time. that once our bodies could understand COVID and biologically react to it, we would be able to address it more readily, and our immune systems would grow and be able to identify, detect it, and respond differently than they did early on. And I think you're seeing that. I think there is some sense of security that you see with some people. To your point, Laurie, I traveled too. In fact, I was just in Seattle over the weekend and was surprised at how many people wore masks.
Well, that's Seattle.
Well, as opposed to what? As opposed to Waco, Texas, where they don't wear any masks? I mean, we can identify extremes to kind of to both ends, but I think it's interesting to see individually where people find a sense of security in doing that. Does that make it bad? I don't think it makes it bad. I think if it helps them, I mean, there have been parts of the population that have worn masks long before COVID, and then before they looked really out of place, and now they don't look quite as out of place as they once did.
Well, we got to end this. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the school system. There's some new evidence that has come out about the operation of the school system and the budgeting, and an effort by the county executive to get greater control over funding. So we've got lots to talk about in the weeks to come about.
There are lots of issues to be addressed there that we should talk about, and I look forward to talking about those too. And I'm fascinated by the county executive's efforts to try to do something.
Well, that's interesting. We got to save that.